wanna know who the fuck to trust. Is you my friend or my foe? I'm my exit, bro. Yeah, she give me that maybe as well. I remember back when I was younger, I was happy. Nowadays feel like no one understand me. I'm good at artists.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Hopeful here. I hope everybody's doing fantastic. I know I am. No, I am feeling good, and this is a feel good type of video today. You know, we're gonna just go about and give our opinions on a couple weapons that we think, you know, shit, where do they stand in the meta right now? And not even with the meta itself, just is more my personal preference. I know you guys might have something tiered a little bit higher or tiered a little bit lower than I do. This is my personal preference of what I've been using lately and what I feel like is comfortable enough for me and enjoyable for me to use in the game. If you guys do enjoy this, please let me know down below. If you guys did like this video, maybe we could do one every season, every time the meta starts to change, every time, you know, things start feeling a little spicy. But honestly, thank you guys so much. I will see you guys in about 2 seconds. First of all, we're gonna start with the AK-47, dude, a Modern Warfare version. This gun is hard, man. I had a fond memory of this weapon. You know, I loved it. It was so fun to use for a pretty good amount of time in Modern Warfare. When it came to Warzone, I felt like the recoil was too much to handle, and not only that, but I felt like the time to kill was just too slow. It was never such a great weapon for Warzone itself. For that reason alone, I think I'm gonna set it at tier 4. It's not the worst, but it's also not something you want to go out of your way to use, if that makes any sense. It's definitely, it's in a weird mixture. If I could put it in a tier that's in the middle of 5 and 4, I definitely would. But, you know, for now, I'm going to have to set it at 4 because I don't think it's absolute dog water. The next weapon we have is the Growl. Okay, I'm just going to say right here, I have been in love with the Growl since the first day it came out in Modern Warfare. And I remember I grinded gold for this as quick as possible and Damascus because this gun was just amazing. It has absolutely no recoil. And ever since it came out, it's never not been meta, you know. Yes, it doesn't have the fastest TTK in the game right now, but it's definitely not one of those guns that you should shy away from due to the fact that it's literally a laser beam. Whether you're on PC or controller, this gun you just can't go wrong with. It's just that good. For that reason alone, I'm putting that on my A tier or tier 1, just because it's such a force to be reckoned with. The gun is so amazing. I mean, there's a reason why cheaters have used this and stuff. It's because it's already so accurate that even with their aimbot or whatever, right, it makes it even more deadly for them. And for me personally, I love the gun. It's an amazing gun. Even though, you know, they've nerfed it a couple times, it's hit a couple rough patches. I've never seen it not be S tier. So for that reason alone, that's gonna be my very first S tier weapon. If I say S tier, A tier, B tier, whatever, it's just know that I'm going by the tiers that you guys see right in front of me right now. The Ram. So personally, dude, to be completely honest with you guys, it's a great gun. It is. It's a really good gun. It's got a, you know, it has a lot of mobility if you build it out to be a SMG. It's also got amazing long range engagements. But the only downside for me, at least, is it's not a lot of recoil. It's got a funny recoil. And I know a lot of mouse and keyboard players can absolutely shred with this weapon, and even some controller players are really, really good with it as well. I do play on controller, and this gun has never been the amazing top tier weapon for me. It's always, you know, it's been a really good weapon. It's just never been that, you know, oh my god kind of gun for me. But I do respect that it can be one of the best weapons out there if you build it properly. And I do use this weapon from time to time, and I've had good luck with it. So for that reason alone, and the fact that I think it's good, I think it is. I'm not the best with it, but I know that it's good, and I've seen a lot of people succeed with this weapon. I'm going to put it in the S tier or tier 1 because I know it has the possibility of being one of the best weapons out there if you build it and you get to know it and the recoil itself. The next weapon we got on the list is the FN Scar. This has always been a meme weapon. It's never been good for Warzone. I'm going to just set that down below. It's never been good. The time to kill is way too slow. The recoil is out of this world. I mean, it's disgusting to try to control it. It sucks though because I've always loved the Scar, even in Modern Warfare 2, stuff like that. But, you know, it's just never been, for me personally, it's never been a gun that I go out of my way to use. I remember using it in the first season that Warzone ever came out. And this gun wasn't half bad at medium range. When you start getting into the close range or the long range, both of them it falls off on. It can't kill as fast as an SMG, and then it has too much recoil to withstand those long engagements at long distances. For that reason alone, I'm gonna have to put it in the last slot, just because it's not something you want to go out of your way to use 100%. The Odin, I'm gonna set that at, I'm gonna put that at tier 5, because kind of with the same thing as a Scar, it's got I mean, this one's got a lot better of damage. It's a hard hitting gun. I mean, it's disgusting if you can actually hit your shots with it and everything. But for me, it's never been that weapon that I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna use this, it's freaking phenomenal, you know? Oh, well, I just hit my face on this. It's never been that weapon that it's like, oh my god, this is phenomenal, it's amazing, it's great, you need to use this right now. I remember a couple seasons back, it was an okay weapon if you built it out to be, but even for me, it was never that gun that I went out of my way to use, for the fact that it's got way too much recoil, and it's just not a fast enough TTK. For that reason, you know, you're going to be down below. I'm sorry, Odin. I know some people might hate me for that decision, but, you know, it is what it is, man. The next one, M4A1. This gun has never not been meta. This game is always, or this gun has been fantastic since the day it came out with Warzone and stuff. I mean, this gun, you can build it to be an SMG. You can build it to be a long-range rifle. This gun is just an all-around, I can do it, fuck with me kind of gun. And if you see somebody rocking an M4A1, dude, just run away. You're going to die. Alright, he's probably been playing since season 1, and he's gonna shit on you. But in all reality, guys, this gun is fantastic. If you guys haven't like used it recently, it's never not been the meta. You know what I mean? It's a great gun. And just a heads up, anything that's right here, you know, I'm not ordering it like in a perfect way and stuff like that. You know, this is just, if it's in here, it's a good gun. If it's here, it's a okay gun. If it's here, it's a, you know, it's viable, but it's not really something I use. If it's here, it's something I'd rather not use. If it's here, it's just shits and giggles if you're using this gun, right? But yeah, don't take any hate or anything if it's not ordered properly right here. I'm just doing it based off the tier itself, not really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know. But yeah, M4A1, guys, fantastic gun. It always has been, it always will be. It's amazing, all around good weapon, honestly. The FAL. For me, I'm putting this right here at 4. I know people will hate me because this is a faster time to kill weapon. It's not the fastest, but it is a good weapon to use if you're good with it. Personally, I don't have the best trigger finger, and I don't like having to, you know, automatically go, you know what I mean? I don't like that. For me, it's just not a gun that I use. Even in multiplayer, when I was getting Damascus for it, when I was doing a grind, it was never something I enjoyed doing, the FAL. And it's not to say it was a hard weapon, because I mean, I wasn't hardcore and it was really easy to use. But for Warzone, I just, it's not something I see myself ever using. I've used it once or twice when it was really broken a couple seasons ago. But ever since then, I don't think I've ever put the gun back on. I know a lot of PC players can still dominate with this weapon due to the fact that they can do, you know, macros and shit like that. But me as a controller player, I stray away from this weapon, and I'm not worse for it or better for it. You know, it's just one of those weapons I don't use personally. The next one we got is the FR 5.56. This gun is hot crappy water, dude. This is a gun that somebody like kind of spit out and just never ate it up again because it just wasn't that good to begin with. You know, this is one of those weapons that you can use it if you want to just fuck around and have a good time with it, but it's not a gun that's actually going to get you very many wins. It's got a pretty slow time to kill, and I don't like the way that you can build the weapon. It's just not something I use personally, and that might be my personal preference, but it's not it for me. Let's move on to the Kilo. Kilo, same as kind of like the M4A1. The Kilo doesn't have the fastest time to kill or anything, but you can build it out to be one of the most accurate and annihilating weapons you can have out there when it comes to Warzone. I actually have a really good build for this gun that I like to rock with the, I want to say it's the MP5 that I have it set up with, the Cold War MP5. And this gun is really fun to use when I'm in trios, quads, and even duos. It's just one of those guns that, you know, you can build it out to be a laser. And like I said, it doesn't have the fastest TTK or anything like that, but the fact that it's so accurate, kind of like the Growl, that where you can take a little bit less TTK due to the fact that it can laser people from literally miles away. I mean, it's a fantastic weapon, And to be honest, I just love the way it looks. The next weapon we got is the CR56 AMAX. The AMAX is completely broken. It's been broken. You know, they have tried to nerf this weapon down to the ground a couple times already, and it just, to me, it hasn't taken a big enough hit, man. I still use this gun till the day, and dude, it's a fantastic weapon. It does everything you want it to do. It can be a long range, it could be a short range, it could be a medium range. It can absolutely shred through 2-3 enemies. This gun is phenomenal. If you guys haven't used it or don't have it unlocked, go to Modern Warfare and get this thing unlocked, because you will not regret it. It is phenomenal, guys. I mean, it is just, I promise you guys this. I promise. Like, on my life, this gun is one of the better ARs in the game right now. XM4, guys. So here is our first Cold War weapon, AR, as you would say. XM4, I'm going to have to put in one tier again. Kind of like the M4A1. This gun is like kind of that all-around, really good at doing everything kind of gun. It can do short range. Actually, a lot of people right now are using this gun as an SMG instead of an SMG, because, you know, it's that good, and you can build it really well depending on how your playstyle is. I mean, if you're going to camp, you can build it to camp. If you're going to run and gun, you can build it to run and gun. If you want to do it at medium to long ranges, you can do that as well. This gun is really, really good. I actually have a short ranged weapon or version of this gun that I pair with my Car 98, and it's fun to use. It's a really, really great gun to use. It's like the M4A1, but from Cold War. A phenomenal weapon, 100%. The AS Val, believe it or not, this gun, I'm gonna have to put it in tier 2. Now, see, I know a lot of people might get mad at me because this is the fastest time to kill gun in the whole game, but there are too many downsides for me to put it at tier 1. It is not meta, because I have not been killed by it once this season. I know it sounds a little absurd, but let me tell you why I put it at tier 2. First of all, you can't have any larger mag than a 30 round mag. That already for me is it's gonna kill me. If you're playing solos, alright, yeah, maybe you can mess around with the AS Val, but if you're playing duos, trios, or even quads, you're gonna be outgunned by not the fact that they can kill you faster, but the fact that you're running out of bullets before them. And say you take out one person, maybe even 2 people with this gun, you're gonna have to reload. And by the time you reload, you're most likely gonna be dead due to the other person that's coming at you, or the 2 other people that are coming at you. Also, the recoil is pretty disgusting on this gun. If you guys have ever taken your time out to play with this weapon, you can tell that it's, you know, it's good, but it's not, for me, it's not good enough to be in NDS tier or tier 1. So that's my reason why I'm putting it in the lower tier. It's not a bad gun, but it's just not what I would take my time out to use, you know. Mac 10, I'm gonna put it up here. Mac 10, it did take a couple nerfs, and it's not as good as it used to be, but it's still a melt machine, and you can build it to be a close range or even a medium range weapon, and it still holds its own in both categories. It's a fantastic weapon, and the blueprint that came out for it recently, actually a couple days ago, the reactive one, dude, it's awesome. All right, what can I say besides this gun is freaking phenomenal, man. I love it. I do love it, but there is one gun that's coming next that I think outplays the Mac 10 in every category, and probably outplays a lot of the weapons in every category, and that's going to be the MP5. MP5, if I could do this myself, if I was organizing these like correctly, MP5 for me would be all the way up here alongside a different weapon we'll come across eventually. But the MP5 is just, dude, I mean, it is. Do I have to say anything when it comes to the MP5? I'm sure a lot of you guys already know that the MP5 is a complete melt machine, a complete beam machine. And the fact that you can build it for hipfire play or even ADS play, it's good. If you guys don't use this, stop not using it and start using it, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? I know you know what I mean. You know what I know when you know what I know? Yeah. But yeah, MP5, guys, 100%. It is incredible. And for that reason alone, I would put it at number 1 out of everything in this whole list. I love it. I do. Milano, I'm going to set that at tier 4. I don't like the weapon. To me, this gun is the mini Uzi, or the Uzi from Modern Warfare. Both guns are our hot poopy water, bro. No. I'm not saying anymore. Just I don't like it. KSP, same as well. This is one of the worst weapons to use. The fact that it's a burst fire and it does not hit as hard is gives me the chills, bro. Bullfrog, I'm gonna put this at tier 2. Why? You can shred through a whole team of 4 with 1 mag, and you can build it out to be a really good weapon. It's very viable and usable. I don't use it that often, but I do use it, and when I do, it doesn't disappoint me, man. It is a really fun weapon to use, and it's enjoyable. I can't say anything else other than, you know, I really enjoy myself when I use this weapon. That sounded really dirty. Don't take that dirty. Alright? Alright. LC10 is what we got next on the list. I'm gonna have to put this up here. LC10 is a fantastic weapon. I actually made a review about this gun a couple days ago on my YouTube channel. If you guys are on this video right now, you guys can actually go to my homepage on my YouTube and, you know, go through the past videos. And this gun I paired with the Swiss, and dude, this gun is fantastic, man. It did not let me down in a fight. And the reason I wanted to build a class around the LC10 was I always get the ground loot, and I get the gold variant of it, and it absolutely melts people. And I ended up saying, you know, the hell with it. I'm gonna build a class and I'm gonna run it and see how I do. And I actually had a great time with the LC10, and it definitely can be your primary weapon if you want to do medium-ish to short-range fights. The LC10 can definitely do what you're asking for. And I mean, you can even use it as a secondary, like pair it with a, you know, for example, the CR Max. You could pair it with that, and dude, right there you have a deadly combination of weapons that can do everything you're asking, from short, medium, and long. Disgusting weapon. I mean, I can't tell you guys anything other than it does what it needs to do. AK-74U, this gun I'm gonna put at my A tier or S tier as well, due to the fact that this gun can absolutely melt people. I mean, it's got recoil, and that's something that you have to get used to. And the recoil pattern, once you do get used to it, it's not as bad as you would think. And you can build this gun to be a mini assault rifle, or you can build it to be a submachine gun. For me, I use it as a mini assault rifle, and I pair it with a sniper. And it hasn't let me down. I've won like 2 or 3 games with it thus far. I've only been using it for a couple days. Actually, it's probably been about a week, and I've won about 2 to 3 games with it already. And it's always been fun, man. It doesn't have the fastest TTK or anything like that, but it is a heavy hitter, and it can do pretty much anything you're asking for as long as you can control that recoil. If you can control the recoil, I promise you this gun does dominate, and it does do what you're wanting it to do, you know. And for that reason alone, I think it definitely deserves and earned its spot in the first tier. Striker, this gun has always kind of been a meme for me. I'm gonna put it at tier 4. It's not the best weapon, it's not the worst weapon, but it's not doing what it should be doing all the time. You know what I mean? It's got a pretty slow TTK. The mag size isn't the best. The iron sights are pretty crappy. For me, it's just not one of those weapons. If I were to ever use this weapon with a class, this would have to be a, you know, a finish. I'm gonna finish a kill off kind of weapon. Other than that, it's not anything special. For the next gun, we have the MP7. You know, I have mixed feelings about this weapon because it used to be my favorite gun in the whole game, and then it took a nerf, and then other guns started becoming a little better, and then it kind of just, you know, it just kind of sat in the background, and it's been sitting in the background for quite a while. I still use this, and I still really like this gun, so I'm gonna put it at the top tier. I just have so many fond memories about this weapon, and it's really good. I mean, it's fun to use. The MP7 is a classic weapon for me when it comes to this game, and for Warzone. I mean, I used to shred people with this gun back in the day when Warzone first launched, and I mean, it still does really well in really close quarters. Obviously, you will get beat out by the MP5 or the you know, or the MAC-10, stuff like that. Actually, if I had to say, I would have to say that this gun resembles an LC-10 very similarly, but the LC-10 has a tiny bit more medium range than the MP7. The drop off for the MP7 for damage profile is a little bit stronger when it comes to, you know, the damage fall off. LC-10 has a little bit more range if you build it properly. For that reason, I think the MP7 it's a little lackluster. It's not as good as it used to be, but it can definitely still win you that fight. if you can hit your shots. And like I said, I love this weapon. It's always been one of my favorite weapons, so I'm gonna put it in the top tier for myself. The Farah 83 is the next weapon we got. This gun did take a couple nerfs, a couple hits, and it's still really viable weapon. I mean, it still does everything it can. You're asking it to do, you know. And personally, I use this with my street sweeper build, and so you know I got a long range and a close range weapon. And hold up, excuse me, I'm sorry. It does do its job, man. I think it's a fantastic gun. I think it's really great. I love the design of the weapon itself. It's not the best weapon, but it's easy to control. I think it's one of the easier weapons to control, and it's enjoyable. I mean, I can't say anything other than it's an enjoyable gun to use. For that reason alone, I'm gonna put that at, you know, I'm split here between tier 1 and tier 2 because it is a really good weapon, but at the same time, it does have a couple downsides, like its handling, its speed. I think for that reason alone, the handling and the speed, I'm gonna have to put it in tier 2. Although I really do want to put it on tier. I'm gonna put it in tier 2. Okay. Hate me if you guys must, but I think I'm gonna put it in tier 2 because it is good, but it's not. It's not the one of the best of best right now, right? But it is good. MP5 for Modern Warfare. I'm gonna put this right up here to tier 1. Like the MP5 from Cold War. It shreds, man. It's a really good gun for hip fire or ADS builds, and to match up with an AR, especially with an AR. I mean, you have an aggressive weapon and a long range weapon, and for that reason alone, the MP5 is disgusting. And I mean, it's literally the same gun. To me, it feels like the same gun. The Cold War one might be a tiny bit better, but the Modern Warfare one still definitely holds its own, and I still like to use it as well. So for that reason, it's gonna stay up here in my top tier. The Fennec, I'm gonna put this in the viable category, or tier 3, the middle ground. It can get you a kill, and I love it because it's literally the Vector from Modern Warfare 2, and it's a fun gun to use, man. It's like one of those dual weapons that you don't want to get rid of or anything like that, because it's just so fun to use. And the only downside, it's got an extremely quick rate of fire, and the magazine size doesn't go up that high. It's got a good amount of recoil, but it's not hard to control, too hard at least. It's just one of those guns that it will get you a kill, it'll get you a fight, and it'll get you a win every now and then. But it's not something you should go out of your way to use every single game or anything like that. The Uzi, in the other hand, I'm going to throw this all the way to tier 4. And for that reason is the same reason that I said the Milano got put down here. It's just, it's never been a gun that I like to use. It is what it is. The Bison, I'm going to put this at tier 3, middle ground. It's like the Bullfrog, but I feel like the Bullfrog has better handling and just better everything than the Bison. The Bison is just not as good as I would wish, right? I feel like it's really lackluster. It's not it. That ain't it, Chief. I'm sorry. The AUG from Modern Warfare. So this is weird because when Modern Warfare, Warzone, or whatever came out, this was probably one of the fastest TTKs in the game. And throughout the time, you know, people started putting it away for other weapons due to the fact that this gun, the way you had to build it, took away so much of its handling, so much of its speed away, that instead of feeling like an SMG, it felt more like a LMG, to be completely honest with you. The fact that its recoil was out of this world, and the damage profile was really good and everything, but it just was one of those weapons that just kind of like sat in the spotlight for a couple minutes and then said, hey, the next comedian is up to speak on the bat, right? Or whatever. Well, whatever, dude. You know what I'm saying. But yeah, for that reason, I don't think this weapon is just what it should be, man. I truly don't think it's what it should be. And it's sad to say because this gun used to be really good, but I'm going to put it at my tier 2. I'm going to put it at tier 2 because it's still viable. It's still usable. But there's a lot of downside to using this weapon, right? P90, dude. If you guys have not used the P90 in this meta yet, or in this season, you are missing out because this gun completely shreds people. I'm not going to give you guys any tips. I'm just going to tell you guys, Go put this on a class and use it. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm putting in my tier 1. The ESO, I'm gonna put this in the viable category. You know, it's usable, but it's not as great as it could be, right? I feel like there's a lot, it could do a lot better. It could have a lot more everything, honestly, completely. And it sucks because I do like this weapon. I enjoy using it, and I did use it for a little while, but it's just not what it could be. If that makes anybody sleep better at night. For the next weapon, we have the Street Sweeper. I'm also gonna put this at my. I'm gonna put it at like my top tier, because this weapon alone is, and I'm actually gonna do the next weapon as well, the Gallo. I'm gonna put this up here. And both of these weapons I'm speaking for right now. I'm putting both of these at my tier 1 because they are the best shotgun in the game right now. The Gallo is a smaller sized, mag sized version of the Street Sweeper, and the Street Sweeper is a larger mag size of the Gallo. Both of them have amazing damage profiles and quick TTKs. I mean, they're insane, and they're really good to pair if you're gonna be like running into buildings and stuff. You know, just pull out the Street Sweeper, pull out the Gallo, and just ram through that whole building and take out any team in there with these weapons. Fantastic guns. I mean, I love them. The next weapon is the Howler. I'm gonna put this at tier 4. Not a great weapon. I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. Bye. FFAR. I'm gonna put this at tier 2. The reason I'm putting it at tier 2, it is one of the faster TTK guns in the game right now, alongside the what is it called, the Vow. But for the same reason I put the Vow in here, this gun has quite a bit of recoil, and it's very sluggish. For me, the way that I build it, it's kind of sluggish and it's kind of slow, and I don't like that about my weapons. I like my weapons to be snappy, fast, and quick to kill. And I mean, you can build this weapon around, you know, fast-paced mobility and gaming and stuff like that, but it's got too much recoil for my liking, if that makes sense, right? But for that reason, I'm gonna have to put the FAMAS there, dude. And I'm sorry, because you could be a good gun, but I just can't, dude. I can't. I'm sorry, I can't, dude. I can't put you higher and I can't put you lower. I'm gonna just have to set you at tier 2 and, you know, move on my day, and hopefully people will be okay with that, right? The 725, go away, you're dog water. No one's gonna use you because you're not that good. It is what it is. Origin, same for you. You're dog water. I don't like you. You're poopy water. No. Model 6 as well. I'm sorry. You're pretty bad. The R9, I'm gonna put this at 4. There was a time when the R9 in this game used to actually be pretty good, man. It used to be pretty viable and usable, and people actually use this gun to pair with an AR, to pair with an AR, because it was so good to kill. It was quick to kill. It was fast. It was really viable, but it fell off, man. It received a couple nerfs, and other guns started to outshine it, like the Gallo and the Street Sweeper and a lot of SMGs. And for me, it's just, you know, I don't like it. The Jack 12, I'm gonna have to put this in the same tier as the R9. You know, it was good for a little bit, but then, you know, other weapons started rising in the meta, and must I say more? VLK Rogue, dog water. Whenever this was ground loot, this gun was dog water. I hated getting this gun. If I got this gun, I was like, okay, I'm gonna die. Cool. Alright. People might hate me. RPD I'm putting at tier 4. I hate this weapon. Every time I pick it up, it does not kill people fast enough. It does not do what I want it to do. I'm sorry, but I can't. I don't like you. Go away. M60, for ground loot, I like it better than the RPD. So I'll put it here, because I do like it better than the RPD. But I think the LMGs from Cold War are pretty lackluster and kind of, to be honest, kind of crap. I don't use them. The one that I do use is the Stoner a little bit, and it is viable. The only reason I'm putting it in viable and not tier 2 is because of the fact that it's really, really slow. The handling on it is disgusting. I mean, this gun is super slow. and I can't see anybody rocking a stoner instead of a, you know, an M4A1, a Grau, a XM4. I just don't see people switching it out for that. I'm sorry, but it's a decent weapon. So for ground loot, this is probably the best LMG you could find. Holger, no, I don't like it. I'm sorry. It's just, it could have had something, but it never did. It's like I don't know. It's like I just can't, man. I don't know what to say really about the Holger besides it's not good. That's all I can really say. The Groza, I'm gonna put this right at. I'm gonna put it at tier 4. I don't like the gun. I don't like it. I've used it a couple times. I don't like it. Not even in the Cold War multiplayer. I think it's really. I don't enjoy it. It's not fun. For that reason alone, you're gonna go at tier 4. I'm sorry, buddy. See, the Bruin used to be okay. It used to be an actual weapon that you could use, and it could be good or bad, right? For that reason alone, I'm gonna put it at tier 3 because you could still use it, but it's like the Stoner. It's got really low handling and mobility, and for that reason, it misses out. And truthfully, I don't see anybody using a Bruin or a Stoner over like an M4, a Grau, an XM4, stuff like that. I just don't see people using that over that. MG34, I'm gonna put it in viable. You can build this out to be a short range killing machine. I've used it a couple times. I know Tim the Tatman actually made a weapon review about this, and you know, he was shredding on people with it. Credits to that big guy. I love him. You know, much love to him. But yeah, man, this gun, I can't put it. Actually, you know, I could put it at tier 4, but I feel like this one has a little bit more mobility and stuff than the Stoner and stuff. And like I said, it's a melt machine if you build it right, and it can kill people really, really quickly. So for that reason, I'm gonna put it here. M91, I'm gonna put this right here, tier 4. I don't really like the weapon. PKM was really good. I'm gonna put it at tier 3. Was a good ground loot. Really shredded people. The SA87, I'm gonna put at tier 2. Why am I putting it at tier 2? You can build this to be an assault rifle, a hard-hitting assault rifle. The only downside is it's got a lot of recoil. But if you can build it and manage the recoil, this gun can do you wonders. Truthfully, this gun can do you wonders. And it's fun to use. To be truthfully, it's fun. The Fin, I'm gonna put it at tier 4 as The Fin, I'm gonna put it at tier 4 as well. Like the other LMGs, it's not a gun that I like. It's not a gun that I use. It's just no handling, no speed. Don't use it. The UG from Cold War, the tactical rifle, is a good weapon. It's a good weapon, and I would even say I'm gonna put it at tier 2. I'm gonna put it at tier 2 because, you know, there is something that outperforms this weapon just a tad bit. And that's actually our next weapon, and that's the M16. The M16 I feel does a tiny bit better than the UG. And yes, the M16 did take a couple hits and everything like that, but it's still a really, really good weapon. If you can use it and you can control the recoil, control the, you know, how much damage you're doing, you know, what your kill zones are, this gun can do you a lot of favors, and it's a really user-friendly weapon in my personal opinion. And I actually like using it. It's not the best because it did get nerfed a couple times already. I think it got nerfed once actually in the recent patch, I believe. But you know, it's still a good gun. It's still viable, and it's probably the better tactical rifle when it comes to the Cold War. DMR, must I say anything besides this gun took time, a tremendous hit. When this gun first came out into Warzone, it completely destroyed the game. I mean, this was on TikTok, this was on YouTube, this was on Twitter. This gun scared people to the fact where they did not want to play the game. I might or might not have been one of those people. This gun is just, no, man. It did take a lot of hits, and it's just not as good as it used to be. It's got a way too much recoil. Damage profile is not as good as it used to be. For that reason, I'm going to have to put it at tier 4. You know, I could put it at tier 3, but I just don't think it's in that category anymore. Type 63, I'm going to put that at tier 5. I don't like the gun. Krig 6. This is actually one of those weapons that started shining with the latest Season 3 update. It received a couple nerf and buff in the same category, I guess you could say, to where it's a really good weapon, and I really like it. I mean, it's a very very accurate weapon that can do you really well. And I mean, I was actually planning to make a video on the weapon pretty soon, because it needs to be put in the spotlight, man. I think it took the farthest place as one of the better ARs in Cold War right now, and in Warzone. It's phenomenal, dude. And that's not to say that, you know, that dragon blueprint that you can get for it, oh my god, I love it. I love it. The SPR, go away, I don't like it. Well, so the Kar 98, probably one of the best snipers in the game. I'm actually gonna insert Swiss here. You know, the Swiss and the Kar are the best sniper / marksman weapons that you can use in this game right now. They are both top tier. The thing that I like a little bit more about the Swiss, the ADS. That's it. Other than that, the Kar has always been the top tier contender for any weapon, any sniper, whatever. This gun is fantastic, and the Swiss follows in its footsteps. I'm sorry, but you know, and this is, like I said, it's not the updated version, so it doesn't have the PPSH or the Swiss, and it might be missing a couple other guns, I think. But I mean, the Kar and the Swiss definitely go in the tier 1 for me. These are the snipers that I personally use on every loadout that I have a sniper on, and I really enjoy using them. If you guys haven't used these Swiss, if you enjoy the Kar, use the Swiss. I think you guys will really enjoy it. But I mean, I don't really have to say more than this is the best sniper in the game. Crossbow, go away. MK2 carbine, it is one of those weapons that's a meme. It's not really good, and if I've ever, whenever it was ground loot, I kind of just took it as a meme, like, yeah, I'm gonna die. Just leave cigarettes at my tomb. Maybe some vape juice. I like tortillas. But yeah, in full reality, dude, this gun, it's not good. M2 carbine, I'm sorry, bye. EBR, there was a time when the EBR was actually pretty good, and it could actually, I think there was a bug where it was one-shotting people in the head, in Warzone. Yeah, it was kind of dumb and broken, but it, you know, it did get reworked, it got fixed up, it got nerfed and buffed and whatever, and for that reason, I'm gonna put it at tier 4 alongside the brother of it, the DMR. It's not what it should be anymore, you know, and it's sad to say, because I do like these marksman rifles, these guns that actually take a little bit more skill to use. You know, you actually have to aim in and take into account the recoil and the pattern that it has, because they're not the easiest weapons to use, but they are fun. If you can get down with using them, they are pretty fun to use, I'm not gonna lie. SKS, I'm gonna put it the same with tier 4. I think it's in the same category as the DMR and the EBR. It's just not as good it's not as good as it could be, right? Pellington, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna put it at viable. It's a good sniper, but it's not amazing. It's quite lackluster. It's quite sluggish, and personally, I think the zoom on it's just too much. I'm sorry, and I don't enjoy it. Tundra, I'm gonna put this at tier 2. This and alongside another weapon that's gonna be coming up shortly, I think definitely go here in this category, because they're really good at being snipers. But the reason that they're not tier 1 is the fact that they are way too slow and sluggish. Other than the Swiss and the Kar 98, the other snipers are just really slow and just don't do what they can. But the Tundra does hit hard and will get you a kill, but that's not something that the Kar 98 or the Swiss couldn't do. You know what I mean? And the Swiss and the Kar just have better handling, mobility, everything. So for that reason, I'm gonna put this at tier 2. It's still really usable though. M82, this is a meme weapon. I'm sorry, it's not good. It's a wannabe Barrett 50 cal, and it's just dog water. AX50, man, I'm gonna put this at viable. It is viable alongside the Tundra and stuff like that, but it's not as hard hitting as one of the other weapons, like the Tundra. It's still good and it's viable. You can definitely get a kill with it alongside the Pellington. You can build them out to be pretty good snipers if you enjoy those kind of snipers, those sluggish, slow, moving, quick ones like that. But definitely not a terrible weapon. The GBZ, I don't like this weapon. I'm gonna put this alongside the Groza. Its brother, its counterpart. Too much recoil, not enough damage in my opinion. It just isn't a gun that I like to use personally. HDR, this is the weapon that I was talking about earlier with the Tundra. Truthfully, you could put these 4 in this category and, you know, nobody would kill you for it. But I just think the HDR and the Tundra do a little bit better of a job at being a sniper than the AX50 or the Pellington. And it's just, you know, the Tundra has a little bit better of an aim downside speed than the Pellington in my opinion. And the HDR hits a lot harder than the AX50 in my opinion. AX50 is a little bit more speed and mobility friendly and handling friendly, but the HDR, you get more bang for your buck alongside the Tundra. It's just better. They're just better. Dragunov is one of those weapons that you should never use. It's not good. It's not ever gonna be good. No. The Rytek, I'm gonna put it in the same category as Dragunov. It's just not one of the guns that I'm gonna use because it's dog water. Enough said. Magnum, I hate this gun. If I get it in the gulag, I'm most likely gonna die because this gun is complete crap. The M1911, I'm gonna put it, you know, all pistols I don't really care for. The Diamati, dude. Diamati. I'm probably saying that wrong, but Diamati? Whatever. These guns are disgusting. They're still disgusting. Truthfully. Until they fix these, I'm sorry, they're gonna stay on tier 2. They're just, I'm sorry, dude. They're freaking nasty, man. The M19, these guns are the fastest time to kill in the whole game, I believe. Actually, I think it's after the Ace Val, but they're pistols, so you're at a disadvantage. You have to get into pistol range to get the quickest time to kill, and they have to be dual wielded, and you have to, you know, rely on the hipfire bloom. You know, a lot has to be in your favor for you to be able to do good with these weapons. But if you can do good with them, they are an extremely fast time to kill. For that reason, I'm putting them in tier 1. I'm telling you guys. Oh, I'm sorry right there, dude. Woo! Ignore that. The Deagles. I'm sorry. X16, I'm sorry. M19, I'm sorry. Alright. We're gonna finish off the pistols really quick just because they're weapons that I need to just get out of my way. The 357, man. When these guys could be snake shots, they were up here. But I'm gonna put them right here. They're not the worst. They're still better than these guys right here. But I feel like they're just not what they used to be, obviously for a good reason. They were really broken. I mean, they were dumb, dude. They were, every game you were getting destroyed by these guys. AK-74 Cold War, I'm gonna have to put it in tier 1, dude. This gun right now, you can build it to be an absolute shredding machine. You can make it be like an SMG but better. It is disgusting. I mean, for real, dude, this gun is disgusting, man. I use it as an AR paired with a sniper, but it's an AR hybrid with an SMG type build. You know, I'm molding it together to be what I want it to be, you know what I mean? But no, truthfully, man, this gun is fantastic, man. It's got a great damage profile. You know, everything about the gun's great, man. You can build it to be at your leisure, at your liking, whatever you want to call it. Great gun. If you guys haven't used it recently, definitely go give it a go. I love the gun. And the blueprint with the rocket that goes awesome, dude. Fucking love it. Fucking love it. Renettis. I'm gonna put these alongside the Diamatis or whatever. I think the Renettis are just as good as the Diamatis, and people forgot about that. Correct me if I'm wrong. Actually, don't correct me. It's my video. This is my preference. But I love these. Both of these guns do the exact same thing. They're good guns. Okay. Okay. RPG. Bye. M79. Goodbye. Sigma. Goodbye. Pila, goodbye. Joker, goodbye. Strela, goodbye. RPG, Modern Warfare. Viable. Don't hate me. I like the RPG from Modern Warfare. Okay? Okay. Truthfully though, dude, you can shish on people with this gun, dude, 100%. It's fun to use too. It's an RPG, man. You know, blow shit up, have fun. It's a game. Enjoy yourself. I'm putting it at tier 3 because I like this gun. Bright Shield, goodbye. M13, dude. Now this is a gun that I'm gonna have to put in tier 1 because it is, alongside the Krig, it's one of those weapons that have gone under the radar for a very long time. That, you know, they weren't that good, they weren't that great, blah 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 blah, right? But with time, this gun has gotten really, really good. It's a very, very accurate and steady weapon that it's easy to control, it's easy to use, and it's fun, man. I really do like the M13, and the blueprint I have for it's kind of cool. So for that reason, I'm putting it right here, man. I do like these guns. All the melee weapons, just go away, man. I hate people that use melee weapons, and if I die by them, I'm quitting the game, man. It is what it is. Alright, here guys, we have the AN94, one of the last weapons, because we have one more weapon we gotta say after this. AN94, I'm gonna put in the actual viable category. You know, it's not the best or the fastest time to kill, whatever like that. But it's fun, man. It's a good gun to use, man. It's enjoyable. It's woo, you know, like I'm moving to the motion, bro. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it don't move that great. You know, it's kind of like a stiff motion ocean, whatever. But it's fun to use, man. It's a great gun, but it's not the best. It could be a lot better. And I think I put it in the wrong tier, right? I put it on tier 4. I'm gonna put it at tier 3 because it is viable. But no, yeah, AN94, it's a fun gun. It's a good gun. It's not the best. It's got, you know, weird recoil, weird patterns, whatever. But it's an all-around, a decent weapon that can get you a kill if you need a kill. And right here, we're going to pretend it's the PPSH. Oh, PPSH, yeah, we're going to put this right here. PPSH, the reason I'm putting it in tier 1, this gun. Bussin'! Honestly and truthfully, man, this gun is bussin'. It is great. It's fantastic. I hate that word. I don't know why I said bussin'. Please, I'm gonna edit that out. I'm sorry. All right, but no, truthfully, guys, this gun, the PPSH, is really, really good. It's not that good in Cold War, believe it or not. I hate it in Cold War. I think it's a crappy weapon in Cold War. But in Warzone, if I get this as ground loot, I am shitting on anybody who's around me. You go away. You go away now. Okay? Okay. Don't come to me. No. Like, dude, seriously, the PPSH is a really, really good weapon, and you can actually build it out to be a very, very good, a fantastic pair. I know I've said this 1,000 times, right? With the sniper. You can pair a PPSH to be a mid to low range AR type thing. I mean, put that task force barrel on it, put that agency suppressor on it, you know, put that laser sight, and honey, you looking good with that 71 round mag. Woo! That shit's so good. But for real, dude, PPSH is one of the really, really better SMGs in the game right now, dude. 100%. I'm gonna have to go with that, dude. It's a great gun. If you guys haven't used it, dude, go put it on right now and tell me what you guys think, because it is freaking phenomenal, dude. Phenomenal, dude. But yeah, man, this is my list of all the weapons that are currently in the game. I might be missing 1 or 2 weapons. I don't know, dude. Tell me if I'm missing any weapons, because I can't think of anything else that I'm missing, but I'm probably missing something else, and I'm probably overthinking it, but I don't know. So, you know. But no, truthfully, guys, yeah, this is my weapon tier list, because I think this is my personal preference, and this is what I think a lot of people might agree with. You know, some people might move, you know, like the FFAR up tier and the AS Val, and maybe move down the M16, and, you know, maybe move down the street or the Gallo or whatever. You know, there will be some differences that you guys see in here that you're like, oh no, like maybe that should go up, maybe this should go down. But for me, the way that I like to play, my playstyle, my, you know, personal opinion, I think these are the guns that are really, really viable. And if you take a look at how everything in these first 3 tiers, everything that's in the viable or better category, all these guns are something that you can pop on right now in a class, and you will do fairly good with, because they aren't guns that are going to let you down, unlike the weapons down here. These weapons, I feel like they're just, you know, they they need to be looked at, man, because there is, as you can tell, definitely a lot more bad than there are good in this game. But there are also so many good weapons that are actually viable and usable in this season, in this current meta, that you're not playing every game and saying, well, I don't want to use my same loadout, what do I use now? You know, there is definitely something that you can use that's out there, you know, that's fun, that's different, that makes you contradict, yo, maybe I shouldn't play this playstyle, maybe I want to play this playstyle because this gun is actually freaking great. And yeah, man, if you guys did enjoy the video, thank you all so much for coming in. I really thank you all so much. Love you tons. I'll catch you on the next one. It's been hopeful. Stay true, stay hopeful. Peace.
Honestly, I don't know who the fuck to trust. Is she my friend or my foe? I'm my exit draw. Yeah, she give me that claim as well. I remember back when I was younger, I was happy. Nowadays feel like no one understand me. I'm good at all this, silly, I'm Bob, Bambi. Baby's yellow text.